cue. Okay,
No.
this one we obviously can talk about this for a while. Okay, so this is not an original printing.
Okay.
This is a re-release. And I honestly never had vinyl original Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. But this, actually, we were just talking about this, didn't we, just a couple minutes ago?
Yeah, I said, I mean, this was an album that was a paradigm shift.
That changed things.
Yeah, because prior to this album coming out, it was all the hair metal, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like poppy and super nice and everything's great and Poison and Bon Jovi, and all of a sudden you got Axl and play me the opening to Welcome to the Jungle, baby. Right? I mean, so
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Welcome to the Jungle was a paradigm shift. I mean, that there was nothing that sounded like it. I mean, back then it was all the everybody had their, Charvel, Ibanez, BC Rich guitars, and nobody was playing Les Pauls or anything. Here comes Slash with his
you can't
hat
see his
and a look,
eyes. He's
and
got the top
playing
hat
that
on.
lick, right? He's playing that
He's
intro.
playing a Les Paul.
And the video for Welcome to the Jungle was insane. That was when we were going to that pizza shop in college to reserve the table before Headbangers Ball. The greatest show ever on TV.
Ricky Rackman, Headbangers Ball,
with the greatest
awesome
theme song. So
Stormtroopers of Death, wasn't it? You
Stormtroopers
mentioned
of
that
Death.
last time. I forgot about that.
And the train kind of crashing through the wall. Dude, that was the best. What a great time. But yeah, I mean, we'd watch it, and it was for sure during that time, because this album was out, because somebody had told me before I went, hey, you got to listen to these guys. They're so different. And I was like, okay. But then there was that guy that lived across the hall from me that, I don't know, he was like playing them, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then we saw him over there, and it's like, so, but still, Welcome to the Jungle and all that really didn't, I mean, it was just a paradigm. Like, this is so different, so fresh, the look and everybody, and they kind of, Izzy with this cigarette and just playing that big old, like, other guitar, and it was just totally different.
What the heck are these guys?
What are these guys doing? And Axl at the time had the teased hair.
Yeah, in that one video,
that crazy look.
That was the only time you ever see him with hairspray.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, but when the video starts, he doesn't. He's getting off the bus.
He's getting off the bus. Right.
And you have to believe that they teased his hair up, and I have a feeling he probably didn't like that, because you never ever saw him do that again.
Not really.
Ever. It was like that one video you see him with teased hair, and after that it was no.
It
was hair just down.
I want to say Appetite for Destruction was out for probably a year before Sweet Child of Mine hit the radio.
And man, in that tune, that song got so big.
Dude, that was on the radio for like a year straight.
Yeah, still. I mean,
it still gets
everybody
played.
knows the song,
right?
So Axl also is one of the great frontmen of all time, and it's there was so much mystique because he kind of put himself in that Iggy Pop, Jim Morrison kind of thing, because he was so unpredictable, and that was part of his. That's why today, I mean, when you think about how much music these guys put out, it wasn't very much.
Not a lot.
And yet today, they'll go fill up a stadium. You go, what? Why? What was it about this? Part of it was that mystique of
the
Axl.
Mystique. Plus, they capitalized on. Look at this album cover. This album cover takes some of the things that Kiss, the Beatles, Poison, those bands, you can identify with every single person.
Yeah, each person has their own personality.
So here you have on this album cover, which is also the tattoo on Axl's arm or whatever it is. You got Axl with the red hair, which, first of all, how many red-haired frontmen do you really have in the history? Anybody want to write that in? I certainly not, and I'm not talking.
He had a unique look.
I'm not talking Ed Sheeran, because he doesn't freaking count, right? Because doesn't Ed Sheeran have red hair? I'm anti.
I love Ed Sheeran though. I have to admit, I think he's awesome.
I'm anti Ed Sheeran, and you're pro.
I love the guy.
He's talented. I'll give him that, but he's no Axl Rose. All right.
Okay, that's true.
But here you got Axl, right? You've got obviously Slash with the hat down here, right? Who do you got up here? It's got to be Izzy.
Got to be Izzy.
The drummer, Steven Adler.
Steven Adler.
And this has got, or this is Steven Adler or Duff.
I can't tell. I've actually studied this before and wasn't 100% sure. But your point is well made. That they set themselves up to have these 5 distinguishable personalities, and it wasn't just their look, because their look was identifiable. It was the fact that they came up with these names. I mean, Steven Adler is a normal name, but Axl Rose. What AXL to begin with,
right?
Then you've got Slash, then you've got Duff, and Izzy. And then Izzy,
like
Izzy Stradlin, and you got to imagine. I always think these things are so funny, because if you were in the room and somebody came up and go, "Dude, I'm gonna be called Axl Rose," I'd be like, "Dude, that sounds so stupid." And yet when we're presented that. But in real life, we just accept it.
It's the
and we go with it. Yeah. Yes.
All right. We talk about marketing.
It's marketing.
And A&R.
That's what it is.
The cool thing about Guns N' Roses is I think it was organic. It was their L.A. Sunset Strip, and they were in your face. They didn't give a shit about.
It was real.
Any of the hair metal that was going on. I mean, they were kind of carving their own path, going against the grain, and they lived fast, and their image, their songs, everything was about that, and I think that's what sold. And I think when Sweet Child, and their songwriting is incredibly
phenomenal.
good.
It's so good.
So when you get Sweet Child of Mine, so you got all this imagery and all this stuff going on. It's a huge shift from the cookie cutter hair band, Britney Fox, and Cinderella.
And when you think about it, you have this
out.
Powerful tune, the Welcome to the Jungle, but Sweet Child of Mine really is a sweet song. She's got a smile that it seems to me it's beautiful. It's awesome. Then of course it has the really rockin' refrain at the end, but then you have another one. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
So many hits.
Take me home. But it was not really metal in that sense. It was these beautiful kind of great tunes that are timeless.
They are timeless.
Those 2 songs right there that we just mentioned, and then also, if you're at a football game or a lacrosse game, professional or hockey, and all of a sudden Welcome to the Jungle comes on, it's right. Like you
do me a favor,
it.
Play it again.
What's that? The Welcome
to Jungle. Right? That's what you're doing.
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
Okay.
They just captured
Welcome,
that.
Fans,
man.
You're here for tonight's.
Yes, you can feel it. The energy that they created with that and it was so real. It was so amazing. The other thing that got me, that was so cool about this band, that made Axl Rose incredible for me, was that you start off with Welcome to the Jungle, and you go into a tune like, was it Mr. Brownstone? And you go, is that the same guy singing? Yeah. Because he's
got that low.
He went and he started doing. I get home around 7, get on bed around 9, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Did that.
Good job.
And I remember listening to this, going, dude, this guy. If that's the same guy.
Yeah, because you're thinking, is that a different singer?
Yeah, you really think that, and you realize, and so because that low baritone presentation was a no-no in 80s metal. 80s metal is how high can I possibly sing,
right?
And still sound. Actually, I don't care if I sound male. I want it to be I want this note that I hit to be Robert Plant and an octave above him.
Right.
That's what everybody was after. And then Axl walks in, and he starts doing that, and you think, dude, this guy is so spectacular. And people knock him. When you get into the next album, like when you have Use Your Illusion and you have those crazy music videos, I loved those music videos. I thought they were so spectacular. They were so over the top good, and they crushed everything else that was around at that time. And people knocked Axl for going overboard with this stuff. No, man. these were powerful statements. They were great. The music was great. The visuals were great. I loved that stuff. I thought they were fantastic.
And I don't think that the marketing, obviously when Use Your Illusion came out, it was like, okay, now these guys have made, because I don't know how much money Appetite costs, but I can tell you they sold plenty. To make it back in spades,
over.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it great. So you got this image. The other thing that I think is cool
and you
about
have the parental advisory
that equals sales.
That adds to the sales. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the other thing is their whole look was like totally different, and they weren't spandex and all that.
Is that on
they
the
were?
back?
Yeah, that's on the back.
This
right?
look right here.
They look like they are just hanging out, and they're just rocking dudes. They got tats. They got the
look
cigarettes.
Like a street gang. And they look like.
I mean, it looks awesome.
They just
like,
as soon get in a fight with somebody in a bar as
right.
as
it's a paradigm shift to what
awesome.
everything else that was going on at the time.
So easy. That voice, man.
Yeah,
the way he did that. Oh my gosh, I love that stuff. Yeah, think about these tunes. Welcome to the Jungle. It's so easy. Both those tunes are great. I don't remember Night Train, Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City. Sweet Child of Mine.
I mean,
I honestly don't remember the rest of those tunes, but those songs that I just listed were so
huge.
iconic and so huge and so. And I probably like the others. I just never. This came out. I think this was our first year in college.
Yeah. So I think it came out either the beginning or the beginning of '87 or the end of '86. Yeah. Is what I'm thinking, and then. Sweet Child of Mine didn't hit like the radio till kind of after.
Yeah.
Because that was like the summer after.
This is 87 Geffen. So in this side here, in the side we have just lyrics. And the band. Rocket
Queen. I mean, that's there's so many good songs. But again, you drop the needle on track 1 and you go all the way through. Turn it over all the way through. There is not a soft song.
It's solid. It's solid music.
100%.
The production is phenomenal,
and it was so
just good
fresh.
Stuff. So then this was kind of a creepy image. Remember when I first saw that?
Yeah, that's because of our upbringing, bro.
It's still pretty creepy, man.
I mean, it's cool.
I mean,
it's really kind of like I don't know what.
It's kind of icky.
That was crazy. I mean, you do definitely with a girl with their panties down and kind of half undressed. It's kind of a little messed up.
It is a little messed up. I don't care how you were raised. That is a messed up graphic. That's.
But then again, if you're.
But
as a teen or rebellious youth, you're going. This is effing cool.
I don't know what this is, but it's cool.
I mean, I see half a boob right there. I don't care if it's. I'll tell you what. I see that she's got her shirt unbuttoned and her panties are kind of coming down. I mean, as a teen,
yeah.
In 1987, as a teenage boy or young man, you're going.
This is pretty cool.
These guys got it going on.
It's kind of whatever it is. It's interesting or cool,
right?
Or something.
Because you couldn't just look at whatever you're looking
at. It did.
At.
I tell you, the first time I saw it, it bothered me a bit. Like, man, this is creepy.
My mom sees this.
Yeah. You think those things. Like, man, if somebody, this is too much.
I gotta cover that up.
Yeah. Anyway, very interesting.
But I mean, if you think about it, it's really no different. Love Gun had more cleavage on that cover. Come on, man.
That's true.
I mean, no fully exposed nipple there like that is, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to get too graphic here, but okay. Love Gun, you got plenty.
Yeah, it's true.
Those gals on that cover.
That was a very suggestive.
All those deep
cover.
V's.
Yeah, that was a very suggestive cover.
I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Great. But I mean, probably one of the strongest albums. Yeah. It kept rock going because it was getting. How many more copycat bands? I mean, talk about the bandwagon.
This was prepping us for grunge. This was kind of like the stepping stone to that, because you know who else was hitting, right about this time when this was exploding, you had people like Soundgarden starting to. They weren't getting popular necessarily nationwide, but they were getting record contracts, because I think it was maybe even the next year that Louder Than Love came out from Soundgarden.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle scene.
You had Nirvana, had
Bleach.
I think it was Bleach. They were coming out right around this time. They weren't going anywhere yet, but this was the shot over the bow saying things are about to change, because this was real. This was not hairspray. This was not makeup. This was not overproduced. Play as fast as you can.
No,
whatever. This was real rock and roll, and you could feel it. You could feel the difference.
I think this was kind of where the production and the hairspray and just the copycat crap that started kind of becoming, everybody. I mean, list how many like 80s bands that were just on the bandwagon. When Guns N' Roses came out, you had other bands that were kind of mimicking the same thing. You had obviously LA Guns, which was half of.
Right.
You're right, because you had Axl Rose and Tracy Guns.
Yep.
And I personally, I liked LA Guns a lot. I like Tracy Guns quite a bit. And their albums were a little different, but similar. But you had Faster Pussycat and all these other bands that were kind of on the same, and how many other, countless others that we couldn't list them all, because they're just, I can't. But that's the thing, is that's that record companies just kind of, this is a new thing, let's cash in.
But look what happened with these guys and Metallica. Because when that paradigm shift happened, when Nirvana came in, and all of us remember when we first heard that song, and they hit and everything changed overnight, what happened with Guns N' Roses and Metallica? They did not get lost. They stuck.
Yeah.
They were here because they were always real. And all these other bands, it was like Nirvana exposed everything for what it was. And we dropped all the crap at that point. But these two bands, amazingly enough, Guns N' Roses and Metallica, just kept riding along. Like, didn't miss a beat.
I think that's...
Black Album came out around that time.
Yeah.
And it just got bigger and bigger because they were, for some reason, these bands, they were so real. There was no makeup and hairspray and fake crap that we could all sense. This was the real deal, and so they made it all the way through that transition.
But that's also a testament of people can see through the crap. You can market.
Yeah, exactly.
That's can
exactly
market
my point.
Faster Pussycat all you want. They were not as strong a lineup or as original as Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
They just weren't.
Yeah.
They just weren't. And I think as a fan, you might like Faster Pussycat. But come on. Album sales, things, but that's why the test of time and the fandom and the sales, I think, justify Guns N' Roses being, because nobody recognizes, it goes back to like Talladega Nights. Number 2 is the first loser, right? Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Second's the first loser, right? But the point is that you have the people that set the bar, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, like you said. Those are the ones they're the trailblazers.
Yeah.
Beatles, trailblazers. Stones, trailblazers. This was a throwback, I think, also to like Aerosmith and that rock and roll, because Aerosmith was a 5-piece and things like that. It was kind of like just repackaged into a more angsty late 80s, type of way. It was good. It was against the grain.
Yeah.
Love it. It was awesome. Because it kept guitars and stuff and hard rock and just pushing forward. It's awesome. Love Guns N' Roses.
Thanks for watching this clip from our show. Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you enjoyed this video, I bet you know somebody else who would enjoy it too, so share it with them. Go to our channel right now where you can watch full-length episodes, and thanks for stopping by.